Curt opened up something. He said the name of it. And what he found in there is pretty close to devastating for us. Chunks of metal. Our engine is blown. Our plan is to find someone to send somebody out that can tow us back to this town. This town just probably doesn't have the ability to fix what we need fixed. We're gonna have to figure out how to get put on the back of a semi and get carried to Conakry, where we will regroup, guys. This could be the end of the journey, literally. We'll have to see if we can get our house fixed. All right, now we wait on some locals to hopefully send help. Curt's setting up shop so he can ask anybody that's headed towards town to send some help, and hopefully somebody will. And I'm researching in the van. It's been a couple hours. A few motorcycles have stopped, but this truck stopped. And these three guys are being super kind. There is a serious language barrier, and what we've learned is Google Translate doesn't work too well because most of them can speak French, but they read and write in their native tribal language, and that's not on Google. And the accent that comes out when you put French in isn't quite the accent that these guys speak here. One guy reads a little bit of French, so we're getting it done. And I gotta tell you, they're on the phone, they're finding a tow truck to come from town and tow us back there. These guys today are our angels, 3 of them. And we are very, very thankful for them. So, kind people, once again, all over the world. Our next step, get to this town of Kundara, which we just left, and then we will regroup.
Food.
My name? Snow.
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 Snow. And Curt.
Curt.
On.
Snow. Curt.
Okay. Stone non sa.
Hold on, Dimple.
Where are we going?
Turn that way. He wants to spin us around. Oh, this way? This way.
Okay.
Turn your wheel right.
Doy.
Straighten it out.
Voilà, tu as vu? Hey,
All right. The past few minutes you've just been watching us thank our friends, get the winch out for the first time. This is way too soon for the winch to be being deployed. In fact, we had hoped we would never use it. But those 3 truckers that stopped on the side of the road and stayed with us for probably close to 2 hours waiting on this truck to come from town. And they helped push to turn us around. The truck driver and his helper in the back of the truck right there staring at us. for such a horrible experience, this part of it has been pleasant. And I don't know if that makes any sense. But we're going to get to the small town here. I believe the mechanic is the one pulling us. And we'll sleep in the van tonight, probably in the mechanic's yard. And we'll regroup in the morning after he gets to have a look at it. Curt is focused because we're being towed. The van does not run. We've got it in neutral. All right, guys.
The turbo is completely blown out. You can just see chunks of metal. I mean, they think they might be able to fix it here. I don't know. It's, I think, 600, 700 kilometers to Conakry. It's like
it's a 12-hour
drive. And I mean, our first thought was to put it on a vehicle and just have them carry it there. That's what we thought they were doing here. Instead, we're getting towed behind. There's obviously no way we could get towed like this all the way to Conakry. So hopefully they can get the parts in here to get it fixed, or maybe even better, get a flatbed in here so we can load it on a flatbed and get it over there to the Mercedes dealership to get it done. We don't know what's going to happen, guys, and we certainly don't know how much it's going to cost.
Yeah.
But the main thing is, like I told you earlier, I needed to get Snow and the kitties to safety, and then I needed to get the van to safety.
And he's done both.
And we're on track.
He's done both. He's amazing. We're fine. And shout out to David and Diane, our friends that you've seen along the way, the other American van lifers that are over here. They have been hard at it on their computers, gathering up any data they could to help us this whole time. And they're the ones that they've been able to stay calm during this and research much better than us. But there is a Mercedes dealership in Conakry that has reviews of being a European style shop. So if they can't get us going here, we will figure out how to get there. It may take a few days and all of that, but we'll figure it out. Stuff moves all over this country. Our van can get towed over there on the back of something. It just might take a little while. And we'll get to the Mercedes shop and we'll get it figured out. And we're okay. And through all of this, I will have you know that the kitties never even woke up. They've been catnapping all afternoon.
They're just happy we're not going crazy on a bumpy road.
Brakes. Oh, there we go. No brakes. Okay. We have to focus, okay? We're getting towed about another 10 miles. You in neutral still?
Yeah.
The tow pays are really, really tough when you're towing. And we actually just snapped our brand new winch rope. So that's something we'll have to figure out down the road. We're about halfway. So they've tied it back on. We have our hook. We'll figure out how to fix the winch part later.
Bonjour. Good morning. Good, how are you?
It's tough, guys. I know there was some joy and excitement there for a minute, and that was because we weren't going to be stranded literally 6 inches from the side of the road. We were going to make it to town. But it's hard. When Curt needs to brake, the engine's not started. You know, the brakes don't engage real good. There's no power steering, so it's tough to turn. And there's potholes in this road. And my happy adrenaline that came, the serotonin that came over when we were first getting pulled, is everything's starting to settle back down, and I realized that our engine's probably still blown up.
Put your seatbelt on.
And we still got a long way to go to get out of this. Trying to use the brakes. Just over the. I don't understand what they want us to do. The language barrier is also making this harder, guys. But it is very hard for us to keep the road tight because there's downhills and there is
people, there's speed bumps, there's everything.
Curt is really having a difficult time. We've snapped our rope several times now. They're being very patient. We're being very patient. This is very, very difficult. And we have, oh, I've closed the map. Let's see. Oh, guys, we're just letting y'all ride along with us and understand what this is like. This is not easy, not stress-free. We still have
Slight right onto N5.
Don't listen to her talk to you. 2.4 kilometers to go to get to the center of town. Now, we don't know exactly where the garage is. The guy did just tell us we were getting closer to the garage. But as our rope keeps snapping, we keep getting closer and closer to the truck in front of us, and our brakes don't work good. All we need to do is hit them.
Well, I'm riding the brakes the whole time.
Yeah, we're probably
burning the brakes up. They're almost gone already.
And it's just what we got to do to get back to the town and to the shop. So we are not anywhere near out of trouble here. And we haven't even really started to understand how much this is going to cost us, but it is going to be really, really, really big to get our house back running. And there may be a point in time where we have to decide does our house get back running? If the engine's completely blown, I can imagine that's 20 grand or something in the States.
We have no idea.
We don't know what it would be here, importing engine parts, and one day at a time. Well, right now, 1 minute at a time.
Yeah,
literally.
Focus.
1 minute at a time.
Yeah.
I think this is where we might be going. Bonjour. Well, okay.
Yeah.
I know this is hard. I know it's a lot. You're doing really, really, really good.
Now we got to get the money ready for him.
How
150, 101,500,000.
I'm gonna sit back here and spread it out, okay? 500.
You're gonna have to steer it down in there. Where?
Tell him we want to sleep.
Okay, thank you.
No, merci. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Muchos merci. So much merci.
It has been a long, brutal day. The tow-in was pretty intense through all that. I know you guys know all this, you've already seen it, but this is my first time to kind of rehash it because as soon as we got here, we rolled into the mechanic shop here, and I gotta tell you, the folks who've helped us throughout this have been amazing. They started working on the van immediately. There was 2 guys in the hood. There was actually about 5 or 6 people at all times kind of watching the activities. There was 2 main guys doing the mechanicing, and there was this little peanut kid, awesome.
He was the tool getter.
He was the tool getter. He was the gopher, and he would run and get the tools. And they honestly just stopped working on it. They worked till dark.
Yeah, past dark. You had the flashlights out.
Past dark to try to get the turbo booster off. And the good news is, guys, we thought we blew an engine. And of course, we were running through all the different scenarios in our head of what we were going to do and how we were going to overcome this. And the big city that we're going to get our visas, I think we've talked to you about that as well, Conakry. Well, we thought we were going to have to put the van on some kind of semi-truck to haul it to Conakry to a Mercedes dealer to get that done. If you guys have seen some of those semi-trucks, having that take a 12-hour drive through some mountains, through these cruddy roads, and well, I mean, we've seen plenty of semis tipped over and losing wheels and tires and all that other stuff. So for us, there really wasn't a lot of good scenarios in our mind at the time. We're feeling pretty fortunate right now to be where we are. The mechanics are super cool, as I said. Tomorrow morning they should finish getting the turbocharger off. It's not clear when we're going to get the part. They will be ordering the parts from Conakry. We're hoping 2 or 3 days maybe. We're low on water. We're gonna have to manage our food and our solar and electric. We were already low on water and food rolling into this part, so.
But they have these across the street, so we'll buy as many as we need, and they're also cold. So that's the next thing. So I think our biggest challenges will be getting the parts here and how long that takes. We'll find food and water, that's okay, but the heat. It was 120 here today.
Yeah, it was. I think it was 114. So during the middle of the day, it's super hot. The only good side of that is at night time.
It cools down, so we can sleep. But we can't. We have to preserve our battery power for the house part of our van because we're only running on solar. We don't have the alternator to help, so we can't run our house 12-volt air conditioner. It takes too much power. And normally when it gets really hot and we need to cool the van down, we would crank the van and run the van, Sprinter van air conditioner and the air conditioner in the back. And we have no air conditioner. So we have our fans, our window coverings, and that's our challenge. Get the parts here and stay cool enough.
Yeah, essentially we're going to be powering our house off of dusty solar panels for we don't know how long. We're hoping. Maybe we're overly optimistic, hoping they can get the part here within 2 or 3 days. We'll just have to wait and see.
And for dinner tonight, I dumped a half a can of crushed tomatoes in a bowl, a half a can of garbanzo beans on top of it, cut up a half an avocado, a third of a tomato, and a few onion slices. That's what we ate. No cooking, no nothing. And if we got to do that for 3 or 4 days, that's what we got to do.
Well, the good news is up and down the road here, there's different. We haven't really looked at the shops and stuff like that, but we do know they have fruits and vegetables, so we're going to be okay.
I want to end this talk on a happy note. We are the highlight of the town. People are coming down. We're on the south side. People are coming down to see us, especially the little kids. And they will come right up to the screen door and stick their face right up to it and look at you. And it's because there are no people here with white skin. So the little kids are fascinated. I mean, they're truly just fascinated by it. And they stare and they giggle and they're shy and they hide off. Some of them are not shy. Some of them are very shy.
Okay.
Here you are.
You know, guys, it's experience like this when we were out in the middle of nowhere, terrified, thinking worst case scenario, and you just see all these people come around and help you. And we're not surprised. When we planned this journey, you know, we knew about some of the corruption at some of the borders and stuff like that, but we never for a second worried about the people, because in all our travels we found people to be lovely, and that is especially the case since we've been here. So anyone who's like, oh, you shouldn't go there because of the people or whatever, stop. You're embarrassing yourselves and you're embarrassing us.
Yeah,
we don't want comments like that. The people are amazing. The people are great. And we want to definitely let you guys know that.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Well, another rough start to the day. If you guys can see right here, they were fortunately able to get the turbocharger out this morning. And it's over here, so we got the part numbers and all that stuff and the hose that blew. Now the next step is we have to try to find this part, and then once we find it, we have to get it here. So I'm searching online, they're searching. The problem with searching for something like that here is that a lot of things aren't computerized and online, so it's not as easy as searching something like the eBay or the Mercedes shop. There is a Mercedes auto dealer, sort of a used dealer in Conakry, the main city, 12 hours away, but again, it's difficult to get a hold of them. We've got a message out to them. They're working on it, we're working on it. So yeah, that's the task for the day. Meanwhile, I've draped a tarp over the van, and we've got the awning out to try to keep the direct sun off the van. The sun's right there. It's already starting to heat up to over 100 degrees. So it's gonna be 105 or so today. We've got the back door open for shade. And really, we're in survival mode right now until we can get this part and get it repaired. So we'll keep you up to date as the day goes on, or the days, I should say. We have no idea how this is gonna turn out, guys. But we're trying to work through it. We're trying to keep a positive attitude. So fingers crossed that we can figure out what to do. All right, we have a bit of an update, and hopefully it's good news. It's probably about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and we are fighting this afternoon sun and heat. You can see the van. I got some tarps trying to keep the sun off. We've got the awning out, and it is just a cooker, guys. It is sweltering. But I think they have found a part in the Gambia. And if you guys remember, we came through the Gambia and Senegal, so it's 2 countries away, and I think they found one, and Muhammad is gonna go and take public transportation probably there, pick it up, make sure it's the right one. They've got a video of it, and it's a complete one, and bring it back. And so he's looking at the video right now just to make sure it's the same one. He's pretty confident. Muhammad's been the one who's taking this thing all apart. He's the main man making it happen, and he's going to get it. So fingers crossed, guys, fingers crossed. When something like this happens, you sort of go into survival mode. And to be honest with you, that's exactly, you know, your first instinct. And you know, your panic sets in, and then you're like, well, I gotta get out of this. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I gotta get out of this. Cooler head prevails, and you kind of look around and you say, okay, we can do this. So we got towed in, and well, we're in a city, and they found the part. Now the problem is, it's 6 million Guinea francs for the part. 6 million Guinea francs for the part and for the work. Hello. And so that's, hey, what's up, man? And so I had that done. But to get that done, I had to walk up to the bank. And this is just a quick reminder of, you know, we're gonna be okay. I mean, there's a lot of people who are living here and thriving here. So we're gonna be okay. I'm gonna put the camera away, but just know I'm carrying 6 million Guinea francs back to the van. What is your name?
What's your name?
What's your name? Je m'appelle.
Boubacar Diallo.
And you?
Marsali Diallo.
Nice to meet you. Take care. All right, guys. So as you can see, there's the van. The hood's still up, still broken down. We made it back up. We're gonna go make the payment so they can go pick up the part. They have to go all the way back to the Gambia to pick up the part. And I assume he's gonna be taking a bush taxi or a moto, I don't know. But anyway, we've got to make the payment and get the thing going. All right, so Snow's counting the money out. 6 million Guinea dollars. G's helping. This is why we call him G Money. He's the banker.
Oh, that part.
Yeah.
Original on phone, I know. Why you doing
All right, I walked up and got some food from a little restaurant up the road. So let's see what I got here. Show you guys. Little fresh bread. And that we can get that every morning across the street. They didn't have any to-go containers. This is their to-go containers right here. So you just get it in a little baggie like this. So, time to open it up. Let's see what we have, the moment of truth. We have here, this is beans, onions, and chicken.
Oh.
Fried chicken. And this one. Here's bag number 2, to-go plate number 2. Fried chicken and French fries.
There we go. All right.
Now, So says she's not eating any of this, and I don't care. I'm fine with that. I don't blame her, kinda.
I might eat a little bit of the beans. I'm just afraid of the meat through here because there's not really any refrigeration.
Well, I'm digging in, guys.
All right, Kurt's getting after it.
Good morning, everyone. It was a rough, hot, sweaty night last night. It really didn't cool down till about 1:30 or 2 o'clock. I don't even think Snow made it to bed till then. I tossed and turned, but we did make it through the night. Unfortunately, earlier on in the evening, maybe around 9:30 or 10, there was a bunch of kids outside, and well, they were hollering at us, and then we closed the door. We closed the doors, and then they started banging on the van, so I got the flashlight and got out, and well, they kind of took off or whatever, and then they started throwing rocks at the van, and so anyway, I got out after that. Of course, every time I got out, the kids kind of dispersed or whatever. These were young kids, and there were some adults next door over here, and I went over and talked to the adults, and they understood. Hey, how you doing? They understood, and they went around looking for the kids. In this walled area right here, there's probably several families. I see them open the doors in the morning and let the goats out and the kids out and all that type of stuff. Anyway, after I talked to the adults, that chaos stopped, but it still got me kind of thinking about where we are and the circumstances we're in. And yeah, we're kind of vulnerable right here, but as we keep reiterating, fortunately, the people have been really nice and really helpful, really kind, and so that's good news. In terms of the part, it looks like the owner just got here. We do know the part was picked up yesterday somewhere in the Gambia at about 7:30, and so the kid, the man, the guy who removed the part, the main sort of mechanic who's been working on the van, went to get it. He took the existing parts to make sure that the part matched up. So we're fairly confident that he's got the part, and he's bringing it back. We don't know how long it's going to take for him to get back. I assume he's taking the bush taxis, and you've probably seen a lot of the bush taxis and buses. This is one right here. It's been a lot of banging, a lot of clanking, a lot of smoke, a lot of smells of burning brakes, diesel fuels, and well, it's been sort of just a long few days of waiting here for them to get it sorted. Our fingers are crossed. We're really worn, we're really stressed. It's hot. The heat hasn't come up yet today, but it's about to, and it's probably about 85 right now, and it will climb to probably around 104 today. And so the sun is beating on the van. Again, I have the tarp around there, and so we'll keep you posted when something, the part arrives or when something happens. All right, guys, we're low on food, we're low on water. I'm gonna walk up here to the market and see if I can round us up some vegetables. We have water and bread across the road, a 1.5 liter bottle, so I can get all that we need, so we're okay. But most of these little shops for food along here, convenience stores, and just have cookies and sweets and and sodas and things like that. So we're gonna head up to the market and see if we can actually get some veggies. A trip to the market, we got a few veg. It is crazy down here. Look at all the grains and oats. A lot of, to be honest with you, a lot of the fruits and veg, mostly veg, were sort of aged. And but I picked up some of the better stuff that I could find. And the food section is down on one main aisle, and I really couldn't film. It was just too crazy. I was a little nervous to pull the camera out, but anyway, I did towards the end to give you a little peek at what it's like. I'm on the fringe of the market now. I'm not in the main bits, but even here you can see there's quite a bit of activity, and a lot of moto taxis everywhere, and I get stared at a lot and looked at a lot and called out a lot, and so that's kind of why I felt it was probably a good idea to keep the camera tucked away, at least for now. So anyway, we're gonna take what we have and head back to the van and try to get through another day in this brutal heat. All right, guys, this is the catch. So we got a few carrots, a couple peppers, and a couple tomatoes. I don't think tomatoes.
Cabbage and onions over here.
Cabbage and onions. Snow's clean them in a mixture of vinegar and water. And oh, by the way, I don't know if we told you, but this is our cooling system under the circumstances. It's our frozen towels that we keep in the freezer, and really have kind of been keeping us alive and cool.
And the cats like them too.
Yeah.
G lets us drape one over him. Vanna's not crazy about being covered up with one, but if we lay one down, she will lay on it. So they're smart kitties. They know it's helping them stay cool.
I got some water. It's not cheap, but
it's safe to drink, and we need it. It's day 3 of being stranded in this city, and it is hot. Really, really, really hot. To be honest, it's been a tough day. Yesterday was tough, but I don't know if it compounds day to day. But we're doing a lot of laying around, being as still as we can during the heat of the day. The frozen rags on our neck and head are, if we wouldn't have thought of that, we would be dead in the water. But today we had to alternate in sitting outside a little bit. You want to tell them the bad news?
Well, one of the things is it's hot and it's also dusty. And so we've been trying to alternate coming outside and sitting here. We got the awning out and then moving back into the van. We're doing every trick we know to keep from overheating.
We've even got an extra tarp over these windows, and we're opening certain doors and windows depending on where the sun is throughout the day. We're running our fans in or out depending on the time.
But we're literally just pouring sweat, and the heat is just now maybe starting to max out and cool down, and it's about probably
it's after
6:30 or 7.
It doesn't even start to even think about cooling down till after 6.
Yeah.
So, and then it won't be sleepable until well after midnight. No, it's really, really hot here.
So our spirits are low, and we were really hoping that we were going to get the park today and maybe get on the road tomorrow. But it sounds like the news is that the park and the guy is still in the Gambia. And so if you guys remember, from the Gambia, you've got to cross the border into Senegal. It's about a 3-hour drive, and then you've got to cross the border into the Guinea. And so...
Hold on 1 second. We have visitors. Okay. You see that? Who's that? Look at there. See? See yourself? Come look. Look right here. That's you right there. All right. When we do come outside, it does lift our spirits a little bit because there's some people watching, which is interesting to us, and the little kids are beyond curious. But back to the part still 2 countries away.
Yeah, so if you guys remember, we were in the Gambia and we had to cross the border. From where we crossed, it was about a 3-hour drive across Senegal to get into the Guinea. So I don't know where he is in the Gambia, so he's got at least that. And I found out not only does he have to make that same journey that we did, possibly longer, but he's going to be doing it in bush taxis. Now, we passed a lot of bush taxis, and you guys know these things are loaded up, but a lot of times the bush taxis won't run until they're full.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like city to city or place to place, get out, then you got to catch another bush taxi, and so on and so forth. So, and the borders to cross. So it's a long, arduous journey, I'm sure it was, to get there and now to get back. Now, we've been told a couple times that he has the part and he has started his journey back. We don't know exactly where and exactly when, but it's definitely not going to be today.
Yeah, and so now I think we're hoping it's tomorrow. Because the translation just is really, really, Google Translate does not work here. So you kind of try Google Translate and piece together the best you can. So we think the part will be here tomorrow. And we really need it to get here tomorrow, guys. This is really, really tough and hard on us. So that's our update. If you liked this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It really helps us a lot. And if you want to see more of our videos, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you know when new videos come out. We'll see you guys in a few days from somewhere out here in the world. Cheers.